What's up, everybody? Back for another live duo review, baby, here on the Beer Patrol. And today, I am joined by someone that is not a beer tuber. Oh, no, not a beer tuber at all. He does not review the beers on the YouTubes, but it is my buddy Todd. So, what's up, Todd?
What's going on, Joe? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, welcome to this incredibly boring and terrible channel. It's pretty shitty, but you're here to save the day, hopefully. But
that, or you're going to lose half your subscribers just because I'm on the channel.
I would guess I'd gain like half of my subs. But so Todd, like I said, Todd isn't a beer tuber, so it's really nice of him to hop on here. The reason he is hopping on for this specifically is because the beers we're reviewing today and comparing, he actually sent to me in a beer mail earlier this month. It was like late January, early February, so it's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But Todd is a panel member on a weekly live show that is hosted by a good friend of ours and fellow beer tuber, Rod, over at Rod J Beer Ventures, called the Beer Flow Show. Almost every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Not this Thursday at 9 because he's on the road in Chicago. So if you want to see Todd, actually talk and try to express himself because he's on camera, check out the Beer Flow Show.
Come see me say a bunch of nothing.
Yeah,
really show you how I don't know anything about beer.
Yeah, he just talks. He talks out his asshole like I do. I know nothing either. So it's it's a match made in heaven. But and Eric over at Eric Alliance fan, Eric over at Eric Alliance fan, myself, Todd, and of course Rod because he hosts it. But aside from that, we're about to get into this review. So we are doing, like I said, a comparison and a review at the same time. And the beers that we are reviewing come from 18th Street Brewery, and they're out of Hammond, Indiana. And the first one is their Hunter. And the second one, I guess I'll put them both up at the same time, but Hunter and their Coconut. Or Hunter Coconut. I always want to say Coconut Hunter. I don't know why they didn't call it Coconut Hunter. They call it Hunter Coconut. But
makes too much sense.
Yeah, doesn't it? I mean, wouldn't you think that, Todd?
I always call it Coconut Hunter. I've never even actually thought about it any other way. Like, whatever, Vanilla Hunter, other variants.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So the base Hunter is what they call a double milk stout, so an imperial milk stout. It's obviously brewed with lactose, but also cocoa nibs, and it comes in at 8% alcohol by volume. No IBUs because nobody cares, which is fine. And the freshness on my can is 10-25-17. What is yours, Tom?
1-6-18.
So we're looking at like a 2-month difference between ours, but basically they're 2017 vintages. Let's just say that even though his is barely in 2008, they're about, mine's 10 months old, his is 8 months old. They're pretty fucking old. But the Hunter Coconut is comes in, it's the same thing, double milk stout, lactose, cocoa nibs, but they add coconut. I don't know if it's toasted. They just say coconut. And it actually comes in at 8.5% alcohol by volume. So I don't know if the yeast is eating the coconut, bumping up the ABV, or if something else is going on, but it's a 0.5% higher, no IBUs listed. And we have the exact same batch because, like I said, he sent me both of these beers, and the Hunter Coconut is this from the same batch that he bought. I believe it was earlier this year. So
they listed as an imperial milk stout on their website, but they don't say that on the can.
Yeah, and then
because of the ABV, right, is above a certain, it makes it an imperial.
Yeah, and on Hunter Coconut it says double right there, like literally says double milk stout right on it. And I don't know about the regular base one, if double milk stout right underneath Hunter.
It does, yeah.
So it's the same thing, double imperial. It all depends on what they want.
I actually didn't even pay attention to that, so I didn't see it.
Baby, it's all the same, daddy. So we have a couple comments here. I'll read them before we crack these open. Kent Beer Reviews. Craig says, "Hey guys, what's up, Craig?"
What's up, Craig?
The Bearded Beer Man says, "Hey gents, hello." He's a guy that I just subbed to recently. He just went on a distillery tour. So what's up, man? Paul says, "Oh no brakes on the hipster rape train." Paul, we're gonna need you to settle down. We're gonna need you to settle down. He also says Eric should be in on this. Yeah, we were joking about that earlier because he loves the coconut. Jada Diva Joel says, "What's up, Joe? What's up? What's up, Joel?" See, Joe and Joel. I saw you over on 21090 Brewing. That I have to watch that back. It was a long stream. And then Paul says, "Tell Todd to stop using my DSL." It's not his phone, Paul. That's the problem. You both are on phones, so the quality isn't as good. But whatever. I can hear Todd. I can see Todd. If it's not fucking 1080p, 60 frames per second, we're okay.
I don't know what your problem is. I look pretty damn good on my phone in the little picture in the box. I don't know.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the internet connection whatsoever.
Right.
But anyway, let's crack these open and get into it. We're gonna crack open the Hunter first. We're gonna do these kind of like side by side. So we're gonna crack them both open, then do the appearance of both instead of doing one and then the other. So hopefully, not. This is the thing on the Hunter coconut, it says do not age, drink fresh in all caps. We didn't listen. So what are you gonna do?
Well, we do our own thing. We ain't gotta listen to what they say.
Hey, whatever. It's your money, not mine. I didn't pay for it. It's your money. All right, we'll give a pour to the regular Hunter here. Oh man, that's very dark. All right. Appearance on the regular Hunter. For an 8% beer, that is pitch black, and that has like a very dark brown head. That's crazy how dark that head is. Very creepy looking.
I'm holding up to the light and can't see any light through it whatsoever.
No, and it looks like the head itself in the beer kind of looks like a nitro beer. That's how creamy it is, and it's just sticking around. Looks phenomenal.
And mine didn't pour well. I didn't maybe pour quite as aggressive. I didn't get quite the head on mine that you've gotten.
That's because you're not a beer tuber. You don't know what you're doing, John.
That's right. I'm just an amateur.
Well, I mean, there's a couple months between our beers. Who knows? Maybe mine's a little bit more agitated and slightly more carbonated. Could be different batches. Could be a whole nine. So, yeah, it looks like an imperial stout of some sort. And I'd definitely say the lactose makes it look creamy. Crack open this Hunter coconut and hope that it doesn't fucking go everywhere. It'd be quick with this.
You go first.
No, it was a nice hiss, but it did not explode or anything, so that's good.
Yeah, mine got some smoke coming out of it, so nice little hiss.
Yeah, kind of pouring out exactly like the base one. Of course, I have a hair on my glass because of my cat. Fantastic. It just adds to the flavor, doesn't it?
All right, now that one got a little more agitation there to it for me on the. You can see that.
Yeah, now this looks more instead of creamy, this one looks more fluffy. Like you can just tell it kind of had like a scoop on top, like you're doing a float when I poured it. So, but very similar looking. Here's the Hunter and here's the coconut. I mean, they're the same except for the head. The head on the regular one died. Did yours? Now mine looks like yours. The regular Hunter kind of looks like yours now.
It actually died pretty quick for me. And it's not really getting a little bit of lacing as you spin it around, but not a ton. Now the coconut, it's hanging around. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, same here. Mine's definitely there. All right, let's get a nose on the regular and see what we got going on. Ooh, I'm getting like a lot of vanilla. What the? Doesn't have vanilla in it. Like no vanilla beans or anything.
Yeah, definitely getting some of the milk chocolate, cocoa nib, vanilla. Yeah, I'm kind of getting some of the vanilla in it too. Definitely smells sweet. I'm curious to see. Like, so I had this one about a year and a half ago, so it's been. I don't really remember a lot about it. I think it was at a bottle share at some point, so it's been a while. So looking at back in my Untapped, of course, I didn't put any notes on it. I did give it 4 stars, so I'm anxious to really try it again.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's going to be cool to see how this one, 8 months of age on it compares to a fresh one, right? But milk chocolate, more milk chocolate, like an actual like good milk chocolate bar. Vanilla, a little bit of like a roasted malt, just straight up roasted. It's not like charred or really deeply roasted.
One thing I seemed like I remembered more in the past was it got a little more of a coffee nose to it, but I don't really smell that in this one. I don't know what you're getting, but I don't really. No,
I feel like it's more roasted malt than coffee, like the actual character of the roastiness. Yeah. I will say, just so Paul doesn't flip out, these beers have been out of our fridge for like 40, 45 minutes now, so they might not be 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So, but they're I wouldn't say necessarily room temperature, but proper drinking temperature for normal people, Paul. Normal people.
Just a tad under 100 for me.
Yeah,
whatever.
Whatever. I mean, he tried to get the boiling, we just didn't have time. All right, let's go to the Hunter coconut.
Now yours is going down a little bit more than mine has so far.
Yeah,
I still got about a finger head left, probably.
Wow, that's way muted.
Yeah, I'm not even getting as much sweetness out of it as the.
No. I'm picking up actually some of the alcohol too in this one. It's only, like I said, 8.5 to 8. That's not going to do it, but I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
I'm
I
not
get a
getting
little bit.
I'm not getting any coconut flavor smell off the nose either. Are you picking up any?
No, I love coconut, and I can't. There's like, if you handed me this blind, I would say there's a more of like a dark chocolate as opposed to the Hunter that's more milk. This is definitely more dark leaning, like a 50 or 60% dark chocolate bar where you got a little, some of the bitterness. It's not full on sweet.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm not getting. Doesn't smell nearly as milk chocolatey sweetness that you got on the standard.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any sweetness from this, I'm getting like this. I don't even know how to explain this. Like a confectionery sweetness that isn't pure on sugar, and it's very light, but it's just like this tinge of, I don't know, almost like a burnt sugar of some sort.
I'm picking up just a hair bit of coffee notes too, maybe.
Yeah, I would agree. This has more of a coffee roast to it than like an actual roasted malt.
Yeah.
Vastly different, but the funny thing is these beers are very similar aside from the coconut, but the coconut isn't what we're picking up. It's just darker, darker chocolate, not as sweet, a little bit more coffee, not as much regular roasted malts, and certainly no coconut.
Now I haven't had the coconut series of this one yet, so I'm going to go on record to say we don't smell it on the nose, but I'm going to bet we get it in the flavor.
I hope so, because I love coconut, baby. Baby, I love the coconut. All right, let's try the regular Hunter. So thanks again to Todd. He's the reason we're able to do this review. He sent me both these beers. He obviously bought some for himself, and we're having a great time. So cheers, Todd, and cheers, everyone.
Cheers, Joe. Thanks for having me on.
That's silky smooth.
Yeah, that's nice. That's almost kind of goes away, but almost kind of got like a wine barrel flavor there, kind of in the middle. Did you get that at all?
See, I know exactly what you're talking about. Now, I wouldn't call it wine barrel. I would say like a sweeter, darker fruit, like a cherry or like maybe like a plum or something, but something that's reminiscent of wine, like just a fruitier character, like a darker fruit.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. Yeah, I'm going to say like I've been eating a lot of the sweeter, darker cherries, and that's what it's almost like I don't want to say chocolate cherry covered cordial because it's not that sweet and to that level, but it does have a cherry character.
Like kind of lingers, like as soon as you swallow it, you kind of get the notes of kind of a cherry-esque, some sort of fruity flavor, but then it quickly goes away and turns into more of the coffee type flavor, of the milk flavor, I guess, or chocolate. Not really chocolate, but more of the coffee.
I was going to say exactly that. I think the finish is kind of like a mocha coffee, where it's like chocolate coffee and that lactose is adding like creamer. So it's like coffee with cream, but basically a mocha. And that's kind of what the finish is. There is a decent lingering bitterness in the back of the throat too, to kind of offset the big malt forward sweetness to this one too. So it's very well balanced from that aspect, I think.
I feel like I'm getting more of the fruity notes of it. More like as Rod would say, in the cheek areas,
the cheek, on the side of the tongues. Yeah, that's right. No, I'd agree. I'd say the body is like higher side of medium. It's a bit thin, but it is 8%. It's not like a 10%, 11% big, thick imperial stout. It has a very nice, creamy, luscious mouthfeel to it from the lactose. I don't know if they're using oats in here. I'd imagine they'd call it like a double oatmeal milk stout or something, but it does have a nice smooth, creamy mouthfeel to it.
So your initial thoughts on the beer?
2 thumbs up. I rate out of 5 if you want to rate. I know you're untapped, baby. So I would give it a 4, maybe a 4.25. All depends on how I'm feeling. Right now, I'd say like a strict 4 out of 5. It's a very well made double milk stout. I'm not getting as much chocolate or vanilla that I was getting in the nose, but I do like the darker fruit aspect and more of the coffee that we didn't pick up either of those really in the nose, and that's what's on the palate. So I'm digging it. I'd give it a 4 out of 5. I think it's a well-made double milk stout. How about you?
Yeah, same here. Yeah, I agree. I think when I initially had it, like I said, about a year and a half ago, I think I gave it a 4 then, and I'd stick with that. I'd go with a 4. I'm kind of with you on a kind of borderline 4.25, but if I was, gunned ahead, probably 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I think this aged well too. I mean, they talk about don't age it. Well, they talk about that the hunter or the coconut one, but I would age this one. I mean, you've had it fresh, I haven't, but I can't. I don't think it's lost a lot of quality, if at all.
No, I think maybe if anything, it might have lost a hint of the sweetness, chocolate out of it, maybe a little bit, but not much from what I can remember.
Yeah, I think the nose kind of didn't translate in this aspect, and maybe that is from the age. That the cocoa nibs really didn't translate all that well into the taste, but for what's in here, it's pretty damn tasty.
So I'm kind of hoping on the reverse side. That's why I said that before we started. Is maybe the coconut not getting it on the nose, but maybe we'll get it in the flavor instead.
Look at this non-BeerTuber dropping knowledge. Let's
spitting knowledge.
dropping knowledge, sons. All right, we'll go to comments real quick and then take a sip of that. Joel from J to Diva says it was a good stream. LOL. Eric Gilbert says cheers. What's up, Eric? Paul says I hate when beer bitches at you and demands your time. Drink whenever and never refrigerate. Paul, that's why some of your shit blows up on you. Right, buddy?
Never refrigerate ever.
Yeah. Drunken One comes here and says hi to everybody.
What's up, Drunken One?
Yeah, what's up, Drunken One? We're just, poorly reviewing beer like typically you do on the Beer Patrol. Paul says, hi, Eric. Sorry about you still being Canadian. We pray for you every day. Eric Gilbert is Canadian, but, they're pretty awesome people. Paul says Eric's head was like the enjoyment from the stream. It died pretty quickly. You mean Todd? He keeps on calling you Eric because of the coconut reference, and I don't know what Paul. Maybe Paul's drunk right now. Hopefully he's not at work. Eric says, walked into a pastry stout and now I'm getting stomach pains. Not a pastry stout. It's not a pastry stout. It doesn't have a bunch of stuff. It's just a regular milk stout with cocoa nibs. Okay? Settle down, Eric. Rod's here says, haha, sadly so, Eric. That's pretty funny. What else we have going on? Rod says big gulps. Eric's talking about Justin Trudeau, about not being much better. Then we got political stuff that we're not going to talk about. Paul says everybody sucks when it comes to politics. Rod says getting shout outs. Yes. Eric says, sorry, drinking gets it going. Yes, usually political and like religious debates are when people get hammered and they just start yelling at one another. Paul says, Joe is hating on this hard. I can't hear Eric over Joe's where's the coconut tirade. We haven't even tried it yet.
We're not even to that point.
But he's prepping for it, so that's good.
Yeah.
Eric says double milk, double cream would be better. Yeah, I mean, it's all the same. Just all the lactose and vanilla. Earth is here. What's up, Earth? He says, yo.
What's going on, Earth?
How's the planet doing today, buddy? Because we're having a good time on here, but it's your world. We just live in it. And then Paul says, Todd is Eric for me all night, so deal with it. Fair enough. Can't argue with that one.
Whatever.
All right, I'm going to take a sip of water to cleanse the palate like you do. That you really don't, but I'm going to because I have a water here.
Well, we got to pretend we actually know somewhat of what we're doing, even though we don't. But we got to pretend like it anyway. No,
we have no fucking. The water's not going to help our terrible palates, Todd. Come on now. You should have this. All right. So cheers again, Todd. We'll get into it. See what this coconut version has. Hopefully coconut, please.
What's the you got much head left on yours?
Maybe like a finger, half a finger. Not much.
It seems a little lighter and creamier than the regular. I don't know if yours is or not, but it's.
I don't know. I haven't tasted it. No.
I mean the head of it seems a little lighter and creamier than the standard.
Yeah, like I said, it was more fluffy when I.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm getting into it. So cheers. Let's dive in.
Cheers.
I'm getting a little bit of coconut. Not a lot though, just a little bit. Oh yeah, man. So I would tell you this right from the get-go, because we're always honest on the Beer Patrol because I'm an idiot and I should just lie about my terrible palate. But if this didn't have coconut in it, and if it didn't tell me there was coconut in it, and I was doing this blind, I probably wouldn't pick up on the coconut. But there's this slight character right mid-palate, like right middle of the tongue, that reminds me of like the finish of a Mounds bar or an Almond Joy or something, where you have a sugary, more sweeter coconut, but it's very subtle. It's very, very subtle.
Yeah, that's definitely not overpowering. To me, it almost even balances out the fruity notes of the standard.
Yeah, I mean, there's not. This is way more mellow than the regular, I would say, which is weird because you would think with the coconut you're adding complexity, you're adding another sugar, maybe things going on. It's the mouthfeel. It's a bit thin compared to the regular. I don't think it drinks as big, like probably just straight up medium bodied. It's not as creamy,
especially being 0.5% greater in ABV.
Yeah,
you would think you wouldn't be able to tell it.
Yeah, it's just a bit thin, Paul.
I mean, it's not 0.5% is not much. Not like I can tell what 0.5% is, but.
No, that's what I'll say about both these beers too. At 8.5%, I can't detect the alcohol. Like I got a little bit of like an infused alcohol note on the nose of the coconut one, but I couldn't tell you these were 8.5 if I was drinking them. They just, I mean, I could tell you maybe based on the flavors and the pungency of the beer itself, but like not in the actual taste. There's no warming even in my chest or anything. I don't know about you, Todd.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's hidden very well. I mean, you could, drink a whole bottle and a can, which probably end up doing before the night's over.
Yeah.
And not really even, don't even feel any of the alcohol presence at all, really. I'm not, or at least I'm not getting any of it anyway.
You know who else wouldn't? Paul, because he drinks fucking crazy big beers. And this is a session beer for him. Session beers all over. So like actual flavor in this, I think this is slightly sweeter than the base, like ever so slightly. There's that subtle coconut down the middle. But I would say the flavors for the most part are kind of subdued and more cohesive. I think this is a bit more balanced overall, but they're not, the flavors aren't in your face as much as the regular one was. Like I'm not getting a big blast of really anything. It's just kind of smooth and subtle as a whole.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think I mean somebody were to just set them down and say, "Hey, try these." You wouldn't take one to be the base beer of the other. Mm-hmm. They're almost like, I mean, they're technically, I mean, they are two separate beers, but they're not really, to me, they're completely different almost, really, in a sense. Kind of the same, but completely different.
Yeah, I mean, well, so I don't know if you recall what the price point was on these, but you got a 16 ounce, which would be 473 milliliters for Eric and the Canadian viewers. And then you have a 22 ounce, 650 mil bottle. I'd imagine the regular Hunter's probably like $3.54 a can. And I'd probably put this vertical series because they're adding coconut bigger bottle. This is probably like a $12 to $15 bottle, right? Somewhere in that range.
Yeah, you're right on. I think if I remember correctly, the cans, because these come in a 4-pack. If you buy them individually, I think they're, maybe $2.99 or $3.99.
So well,
so right there in what your price point was for that, for sure.
Yeah, and even if this Hunter coconut is say $11-12, you can get 3 cans of that for 1 bottle of this, and the coconut isn't present enough for me to say I prefer this substantially to that beer.
Yeah, right. Now I think the coconut was $14.99 if I remember correctly, $13.99, $14.99. So yeah, you was right in there for sure.
So basically,
you're right though.
A 4-pack of the base is almost equivalent to 1 bottle of the coconut. So as far as value, it's way off, I feel.
Yeah. Which is what we talked about before we went on air is the bombers. Just because they're in a bomber, everybody thinks they're so much more special, but really they're just getting more money out of you for less alcohol.
Yep. You're getting ripped. That's why I mentioned now they have the vanilla version of this in cans. It's probably like a can of it's probably like $5-6 as opposed to if they put it in a bottle, it's 12 to 15. It's way cheaper and way better. But so rating wise on the coconut, I like it a little bit more than the base because I love coconut and I'm getting enough to give me that like slight Mounds bar or Bounty bar for those folks in Canada or in the UK. I'd give it like just into a 4.25 out of 5. If I could I guess it's my fucking channel, I can do whatever I want. But I'd say like this is like the Hunter would be like a 4.1 and this is like a 4.15 or 4.2. It's just ever so slightly better for me. But when you take in consideration the availability and the price and everything, I would rather have the base one more often.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you on that one. I'm probably right in the same ballpark. For me, I think the coconut one was a little bit. I think all the flavors blended and melded together a little bit better than the base Hunter beer.
I agree.
I don't know. It was more coherent for me. I think Flavor wise, I would agree. I think it's a little better. I don't get much of the coconut out of it, but for me, it's not a bad thing. I like the coconut in a beer, but sometimes they can be overpowering. You know, like what I have the oh shoot, the milk stout or the milk dragon's milk
Oh
coconut series, and it tasted like suntan lotion out of a bottle. It was
yeah.
almost too overpowering.
How about Death by Coconut from Oscar Blues? Did you ever have that? Because that's big on the coconut as well.
Yeah. No, I do like that one. That's a good one.
Yeah, I think that's
like
more
that
authentic coconut and not the suntan lotion imitation.
Right. Yeah.
So are you saying 4.25, or are you both just straight fours for both of them? You just like this one a little bit more?
No, I would give that one a slight edge. I would go to 4.25 on that one as well.
Yeah, so we're both on the same wavelengths. I do agree with you. I think this is more cohesive, the flavors, like I said, just blend together better. Like you said, it's just an easier drinking beer, and I get enough coconut that kind of, 2 thumbs up for me. So
don't get as much of the barrel berry flavor, whatever the flavoring is of that. In the coconut one, it's more mellow, which I like. Not that was bad in the base beer, but just the flavor itself was more gelled and melded together, I think.
Yeah, the darker fruits of that one definitely came to the forefront. So 4 out of 5 for the regular Hunter from both of us, 4.25 for the coconut for both of us. They're both damn good beers. If you guys if you haven't had Hunter and you live in Indiana, I think they get into Illinois as well.
I'm not sure.
Or maybe into Kentucky as well, right? I think Rod can get this. Pretty sure. I know where's the Party Source? Is the Party Source in Kentucky? Pretty sure it is. And yes. I know for a fact that they can get this, the vanilla one. They did the coffee porter, the Hunter, and the Fox. God damn it.
If they do distribute, it's not much further than that. I'd say Kentucky, Indiana, maybe Illinois, maybe southern part of Michigan. I don't know. It seemed like Eric said he hasn't been able to find it before, so I don't know.
Well, if you can use your hands on this, definitely get the regular one because it's going to be appropriately priced and you don't have to break the bank. But if you do see one of their vertical series, I know they do a vanilla one. They obviously do a coconut. What else do they do? Do you remember off the top of the head?
Let's see. Coconut, vanilla. I think they have a cherry one as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. That actually sounds good. Cherry chocolate would work well.
It seems like they have, let's see. I want to say maybe a mint, like a mint, chocolate mint, but I wouldn't swear to it. I can't remember. Can't remember if they do or not. I don't know. And it seems like they do have 3 or 4 different types of variants. But if I can find the vanilla in a can, I'll definitely get it your way though, so you can try that one too.
That's awesome. Yeah, they do a barrel aged one, a cherry. They do an orange, according to Untappd. They do a hazelnut vanilla. Like, I don't know how many cinnamon vanilla. I don't know how many of these are actually bottled, though. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of them might just
a lot of those are probably just tap room only or something.
Yeah, pretty cool series, though, and I've liked what I've had from 18th Street. So I'm going to read the comments, and then we're going to do a quick cuvee. Is that the cuvee? Yeah, we're going to do a cuvee of this. We're going to just pour them in together and see.
Real quick, though, on 18th Street, I think they're, not getting much distro, for me, I think they're one of the top breweries in Indiana. And still today, I think for a long time, I thought they rivaled, if not, maybe it was even a little bit better than Three Floyds. And I'm a huge Three Floyds fan. So pretty much everything I've had from them, for the most part, has been, pretty spot on. So I'll definitely get some more stuff from them your way, whether, IPAs or whatnot, if you'd like to try something else. So.
Baby, I'd like to try it all, baby.
So yeah, if you can get, anybody out there watching, if you can get 18th Street, I'd definitely highly recommend checking them out for sure.
Yeah, and just to co-sign what you're saying, I've heard of 18th Street for years now, going back 3 or 4 years. I remember some of my local friends here talking about specifically Hunter and some of the variants and stuff back then. They talking 2014-ish, 2015. So clearly they've had some hype, or at least the quality of their products were, very well spoken about going back, even in like my neck of the woods, and we're not going to see them probably ever, or certainly not anytime soon. So just goes to show you.
And I always wonder that too, like on the outside, being local, you hear of them, but how far out do you actually know that they're actually reaching? You being in New York kind of, tells the story there that their name's getting out there.
For sure.
Now they just got to get the beers out there for everybody to enjoy.
Yay. So we have Rod, who says pickles for the palate. little nut. Rod, are you hammered, buddy? But yeah, we should have had pickles. Pickles clearly are the best cleanser. Eric Gilbert says, tastes like German chocolate cake. Thin and coconuts go together like white on rice. Yeah, there are a lot of coconut beers are a bit thin. I wish this tastes like German chocolate cake, but in the coconut one, the coconut nor the chocolate are big enough to give you that vibe. And there isn't like the nice caramel sweetness you'd get either. Now you just pissed me off, Eric, because I wish I had German chocolate cake. Eric Gilbert says, I only know 2-4s, 26ers, and Mickey's son. That's what Canadians are known all about. They're 2-4s. As Paul knows, they're only 2-4s are only 24. So Todd, you don't know, but they call cases up there 2-4s. And Paul and I when we were at the Albino Rhino Beer Fest, we talked to one of the guys at the booth and we asked him. So it was something about a 2-4, and he was like, 2-4s, only high school kids call them 2-4s. So I didn't say it. I didn't say it. Eric Gilbert, not calling you high school good. I'm just saying he said it. I can't remember who it was. If you remember, Paul, let us know. I don't remember. Was it look, I don't remember. You got maybe 5 Paddles was the guy. Paul, let me know in the comments. I don't remember. And then Paul says, I'll be able to join a hangout tonight if you guys are still going in an hour. We might be, but it probably won't be on my channel. Certainly not my channel. I don't know. Jamie shows up.
My channel either.
Yeah, well, Todd doesn't have a channel, but he has subs. He has like 10 subs or 11 subs or 12 subs. He's big double digits at this point. He's like me about 4 years ago. Jamie says Jamie from Basement Beer says, cheers everyone. What's up, Jamie?
Cheers.
Rod says, haven't seen them before, and yes, PS in Kentucky. So I checked the party source earlier. I was on their website. I can't remember what it was for earlier today, and because they list them in alphabetical orders, like the beers, 18th Street's at the top of the list, and they had Hunter and Hunter Vanilla, and I think Hunter was $4 a can or like 3 something, and Hunter Vanilla was like $4.50 a can. So get them, Rod. Go to Party Source and get that in the vanilla one. Come on, bro.
There you go. Rod can hook you up on the vanilla and send it to you.
Then he can send it to all of us. Eric Gilbert says, if I ever go back to Kentucky for a bourbon run, I will look for the milk stout, no coconnuts. Yeah, well, maybe try out any of the variants. Or like Todd was saying, 18th Street in general makes good beer, and they get distribution in well, I know they get distribution in Kentucky because that's where the Party Source is. So if you see them, pick them up, Eric, in addition to a lot of other good beers. Drunken One says, evening, sir. Drunken One, I saw you say hi to everyone earlier. Unless you're leaving. In that case, bye. But if you're not,
bye.
Yeah.
Maybe Drunken One is taking after his name and he doesn't remember saying hi to everybody.
He's fucking hammered. Earth says, I've only had a beer or 2 from 18th Street. Which ones have you had, Earth? I'd be curious because you had to either trade for them or someone hook you up for them or with them. Paul says, hashtag a bit thin, hashtag where's the coconut? And then he said the Black Swan was the guy who said 2-4s. Then Eric Gilbert says, that guy is a total knob, eh? Total Canadian right there. All the Canadian is right there.
Knob, eh? 2-4.
Yeah. Oh, Drunken says saying hi to JB. Sorry, Drunken One. I'm the one that's hammered because clearly we're getting into it. All right, so we'll do a quick cuvee and then shut it down. It's already been like, half an hour, but whatever. I don't care. Fucking anything to do. So I'm just going to pour this directly from one to the other. Make sure they're very similar in terms of how much they have. So
yeah.
You got a cuvee when you have the beer and the a variant or something. There's no reason not to cuvee it. Or is Don't Drink Beer. If anyone out there has never seen Don't Drink Beer on YouTube, he just basically trolls people with he used to take Bourbon County and he would I can't even explain it, but he always would say, "Is that the cuvee?" Yes, this is the cuvee. Don't drink beer. This is totally
cuvee.
It's the cuvee. Anyway, let's get a nose. I mean, color is not going to change because both of them look identical to begin with, but pretty much the same. All right, nose. Actually kind of killed the nose for me. There's not. Take a sip of water here so it doesn't kill. I mean, my palate's already shot because it's my palate. It's terrible to begin with. But nose-wise, I mean, there's definitely some chocolates there. Maybe
I was thinking a little bit of sweetness for sure.
Yeah,
I think
chocolate, vanilla, like a confectionery sweetness, kind of I was getting in the coconut version. But outside of that, not a whole lot of. Definitely no coconut. Not getting that dark fruit. Well, we didn't get in the nose originally. It was more like roasted malt and sweeter milk chocolate stuff. It's not really sweet. It's it's sweet, but it's not as sweet as the base was.
Maybe a hint of roastiness on the back end, very, very faint.
Yeah. Well, science has failed us because this. I mean, it doesn't smell bad. It's just there's not a whole lot going on.
No, you wouldn't get any. I'm not getting a whole lot out of the glass either.
Well, let's get into it then, because fuck it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Pretty fucking good. I can't tell you it's better than either one. It's super smooth though. Like I think this is.
It's really smooth. I feel like the base is a little more powering. Get a little more of the cherry barrel fruitiness to me, anyway. I think.
Yeah, and there's no coconut now. Like there is not even like there was like in the coconut variant like 5%, 10%, like very subtle. It's gone now.
Yeah, it really almost kind of just transformed back into the base, almost more so than
a smoother base. Like that's the best way that I describe it. It's just it's weird to say because both of these beers were easy to drink to begin with, but the actual body and mouth, well, the mouthfeel, not the body as much. I think the body's a bit thinner than what the yeah, I think I agree with you. I think it was like kind of like the base beer in terms of body, but the mouthfeel is just like crazy smooth. I wouldn't even say it's creamy or anything. It's just super smooth, goes down without any issue.
Yeah, kind of silky smooth, baby.
Yeah, baby. Baby, what does the road say silky smooth, baby? I think it say silky smooth, if you know what I mean. Yeah, no, this is actually pretty good. I mean, it's not better than either of the beers, but it's not any worse. Rating, I'd give it like probably like a 4.
Yeah,
at least a 4. That's weird because again, going into this, I just thought the Hunter Coconut would be a bit more robust and like bold in its characters, being a slightly bigger in terms of ABV. You know, the coconut adding an extra dimension to it. But I think the base one kind of, even though I rated the Hunter Coconut a bit more, I think the base one kind of has won me over a bit in terms of just like overall enjoyment and what I would buy when you take everything into consideration, the price point, the availability, and just flavors. Like it's not much worse than the Hunter Coconut. So I if you can get one, get the base one.
As it's warmed up, it's getting more of the roastiness of it. Almost, I don't want to say burnt. That's probably a wrong description because it's not really a burnt.
No, it's just really deeply roasted. Yeah, just like a deep roast.
Yeah. Which it seems more exaggerated than it was early on. Even though it was still, wasn't very cold when I first started, but as it's warmed up even more so, it's getting even more roasty.
Yeah, I wonder what this tastes like around 156 degrees Fahrenheit. Like Paul enjoys it. I'd imagine it'd be amazing, right? 5 out of 5.
Yeah, you got at least have it boiling for sure.
What is that? 212, something like that.
Close enough.
Close enough. 206. I don't know maths and science. I don't even know beer. But so yeah, 4 out of 5 for me. What would you say? Similar?
Yeah, I would give it a 4. I don't know, 4.25. Maybe I would almost even go. I might even bump it up a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, I think.
They're both. Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with either one of them. I would say for the price, if it comes down to just price point, go with the cheaper one because there wasn't a huge difference in the two. I don't think, but
nope. And that was Hunter and Hunter Coconut, both from 18th Street Brewery. They're in Hammond, Indiana. Get distribution in Kentucky at the very least. Don't know where else, but they make good beer. So we gave the base a 4 out of 5. Both of us. We gave the coconut version a 4.25, and I gave the cuvee. I gave that a 4, and Todd says 4.25. But regardless, well-made beers, good stuff from 18th Street. As Todd says, he thoroughly enjoys them. Thinks they're one of the best breweries in Indiana. So believe the hype for sure.
Believe that,
baby. Believe that hype. And then we'll look at the comments here one more time and then shut it down. We have Paul from PA Brew News says it's okay. Drunken one there, pretty slow because I didn't get that he was saying hi to Jamie. Although Jamie's comment was like 5 back, but that's Paul for you in a nutshell. Drunken one laughed at that. Fuck you, Drunken one. I love you, buddy. And then Eric Gilbert says take off, eh? I love it. Paul says, just smash the glasses together. Just out for rip. Yeah, they're just out for rip. If no one ever seen that that song, but there's a video that goes along for it. It's fantastic. Earth says the beer he had from 18th Street was Devil in the Rye Pale Ale. He got it at my bottle shop. I have no idea how they acquired it, he says. Jesus.
Nice.
Illegally, it would seem, Earth, but hey, man, you ended up getting it, so it's a win-win. Eric Gilbert says more of a palate, but he spelled palate Pallet. I get it. I get it. Yeah, no, that's how terrible this palate is. It's like a palette of these potentially. Jesus. Eric Alliance fan says, "What up, brothers? What up, Eric? Too many Erics now.
What's going on, Eric?
Way too many. Way too many Erics. Two's way too many." Paul says, "Hi, Todd from Michigan." I see what he did there. I see what he did. Rod laughed at that, and then Eric says, "You're in Michigan, Paul?" No, he's been calling Todd Eric recently because of the whole coconut thing. So he's just running with it the rest of the night, Eric.
Just go with it.
Ewart AK Taku Murray says, "Football's on. Why is this shit on and why am I watching it?" Because you're an idiot, Ewart. Idiot. You're a big time idiot. You might be a piece of crap as well, but I love you nonetheless. Paul says, "Oh well, hang on. There's more comments. There's a lot of comments." Paul says, Standing Eric is loving this coconut beer." And then Paul says, "I left a bit of myself on a wall in Michigan."
Huh.
He says, "Maids never scrub the walls." And then he replies to Ewart with, "Because you have no life and fuck football." Ewart replies with, "Yeah, I see." Ewart replies with, "You have no life." They're going back and forth. And then Paul says, "Now I'm wondering why I'm watching this and not Pornhub." And then Ewart says, "Total homer beer for Joe, adjunct homerism." I don't know if it's a homer beer when I don't live in Indiana or I can't get 18th Street, but okay.
So what's a homer beer? Is that what he said?
Yeah. He's just giving me shit. It's a homer beer for Todd, right, Todd? Homer beer.
Right.
Jamie says, "Don't drink beers. I'm Presbyterian and my wife is a juggalo." That guy was hilarious. I've never heard that quote, but that's fantastic. Ewart says, "Read Earth's comments." I already did because he's Earth and I read all of his comments, even though that's a standard. That's a joke that Ewart goes to at all times now. That and £3.80. Rod says, "Don't be coerced, Todd. Go with your gut." Oh shit! He says you're being coerced. Go with your gut.
What?
Yeah, I think Todd, if I wasn't influencing, Todd would give all these beers like a 3 out of 5 at best, Rod. So, I mean,
You are the corruptor, Joe. So what can I say?
I'm corrupting him into drinking a beer that we both enjoy and we're giving appropriate ratings. Earth says, "Don't do it." Then Ewart tells Rod to quiet down. Jamie says the commenters are the worst. You guys are pretty bad, but, I'll let it slide. Paul says Eric's palate joke was a bit wooden and stiff. I'll give you that. And then Eric Gilbert says we can't have enough Erics. And Paul, appropriately, this will be the last comment I read, says hashtag Eric overload. And yeah, too many Erics. Way too many Erics. So yeah, we're going to shut this down because it's been about 45 minutes and we're interrupting football, which of course Ewart wants to watch and nobody else clearly in the comments section cares about.
Real quick, so you can get the Hunter, just the base Hunter, in a 16-ounce 4-pack cans for $15 at the brewery,
which is about the same going rate for any of their vertical series.
Right. So, but if you're at the brewery, you can get a snifter. Let's see, a 5-ounce pour for $4 or a 13-ounce pour for $6.
Of the base?
Yeah.
I just get the 4-pack maybe of cans. Look at it like this too. You get a 4-pack of these cans, you're talking 64 ounces for $15, or you could buy 3 bottles and get 66 ounces for like $40 to $45. Right. I think I'd much rather have the one for 1/3 the price. But either way, it's one of those things though. You see a variant of a beer and it's more expensive. Most people end up trying it because they either like the base beer or it's something that's a special release. But if you're looking at straight value based on what we're tasting, even though I love coconut and I think it's a little better, it's not worth it.
I agree.
So that's it for another live dual beer review, baby. Everybody check out Todd on his own channel. No, he doesn't have one.
Subscribe, but there's no content. But go ahead and subscribe if you want.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to subscribe, maybe much like me in 2025, Todd will start a channel, and it will be terrible like mine. But if you wanted to check out Todd and you enjoyed what he said tonight, none of us did. But then again, you didn't enjoy what I said. Yeah. You didn't enjoy what I said. You didn't enjoy any of this. That's why you guys were all making your own comments in the comment section. But no, if you want to check out Todd, like I said, Beer Flow Show every, well, not every, most Thursdays at 9 p.m. over on Rod J Beer Ventures channel. We usually talk beer very poorly. You'll see Ewart in the comments section making a total ass of himself, but that's commonplace. Paul making very disgusting jokes, but again, commonplace and as usual. But you know, we usually talk beer, whether it's current news or we actually read the comments, even though we shouldn't. But that kind of stuff. You can check Todd out. That's where Todd is every Thursday. Of course, you can check me out here on the Beer PaTroll. I don't know why you would, but you can. Usually review beers and throw them up 3 to 5 days a week. And I have Oktoberfest beers coming this month, so
that's on you.
That's on me. We'll see how it goes. Maybe there'll be some duo reviews if other people can get said Oktoberfest, which they should, because I'm going to be reviewing some of the more popular ones, just because. And then Pumpkin Week next month in October should be an absolute shit show of a week, because no one wants to drink pumpkin beers for an entire week straight, right?
If you wait till October, you'll be behind, though, because then that's when the Christmas beers start coming out. So you're gonna have to.
That's why I already bought some pumpkin beers and threw them in the fridge. So I'm like, hopefully they don't sell out by October. But it should be interesting, and by interesting we mean probably terrible. But we'll see what's going on. So yeah, appreciate everybody stopping by and checking out another live dual beer review. And until the next one, Todd and I are saying, okay, bye.
Cheers.
Cheers indeed.